right, hello and welcome. Yesterday, as the time of this recording, I played on MTGO Masters, and I faced off against Nathan Steuer twice, which is not every day you play against one of the absolute best players in the world, and you do it twice. You do it on camera, on a show, which is, for me, most of all, it's entertainment, but it's also very competitive simply by the fact that the average opposition is so strong. So this week, the task was to build two modern decks, one with Assassin's Creed cards and one with Bloomburrow cards. So let's take this one first. First of all, the spoiler for Assassin's Creed didn't exactly impress me, but I did end up with this cool Ezio Auditore da Firenze card that is, you want to play 5 colors. Which reasonable deck plays 5 colors? Okay, Tribal Zoo, and then I basically cut the blue from a stocks zoo deck, and I added this one, changed the mana base to have, black instead of blue. This card is a 3/2 menace creature. We can ignore the free running type, the free running line of text. Whenever Ezio deals combat damage to a player, you may pay one of each color if that player has 10 or less life. So when you do, that player loses the game. So basically, I was trying to make it that so that this card, if this connects in the mid game, it's like I'm playing Infect, right? Then I don't need more than 10 damage and I'm winning the game. So this is for sure not optimal, but it was serviceable under the circumstances, right? So other than that, this is a Tribal Zoo deck that's hoping to start the game with Leyline of the Guild Pact in play, then take advantage with Draco, with Binding, with Tribal Flames, and we're playing some solid stuff like, the Territorial Kavu, Brawler, and a Coddle, Bolt, and Ragavan for fast openings. This deck is what I would consider a tier 2 deck in Modern, but that's fine. Also, Nado was banned for this tournament. That's worth mentioning. The sideboard is very tough. I had no idea what the other players would bring, but I decided to hedge against big mana, just a random disenchant effect, energy, random combo decks, and, this is pretty versatile, whether it's some, energy, necro, whatever type situation. So I decided to play what I think is a fun deck, and I basically meet the requirements with Ezio. And yeah, let's jump on to the next deck that I chose for the evening. Okay, next deck here is a Dimir Shadow deck featuring Mockingbird. So Mockingbird is a flying clone, costs 1 blue and X, and it enters as a copy of a creature, except it has flying, and you have to pay the mana cost. So what I missed initially about this card was if I am to copy a 1-drop, it only costs me 1 mana. It's kind of worded like Prismatic Ending because you spent the blue, then you're already, able to copy a 1. So copying a Psychic Frog costs 2 mana in total, and not X2. I think this card was cool, so I wanted to maximize my amount of 1-drops. That's why I wanted to play Death Shadow. A little bit of sneezing as well. I wanted to play Death Shadow, like more shadows, even flying in the mid game. That's awesome. I play 4 Nethergoyf, and I play 4 Stalactite Stalker. So this card is not, amazing or anything, but it was actually quite good in the games. Worth noting, it does trigger off of stuff like, fetches, cracked Mishra's Bauble, cycle Street Wraiths, or even cards getting discarded to Psychic Frog. Yeah, this card is just solid. Sometimes you can have like a triple 1-drop opening of, let's say, Stalker into Nethergoyf into Mockingbird, and all of a sudden you're really putting on the pressure. The triple 1-drop starts very Sue-esque. Mana base is somewhat straightforward. We play our Surveil land, 4 Water Graves, a bunch of fetches, a little bit of split, because sometimes you want to get the island to save life, sometimes you want to get the swamp to save life. And then we have a couple of spell lands here that can help with, Death Shadow math, while also being flexible enough to do stuff in the mid-game. Spell-wise, we play a split. Aside from the 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Push, 2 Inquisitions, we play a split. A couple of Stubborn Denials here to stop whatever. Hopefully, Death Shadow will make that card a hard counter. Single Bloodchief Stars, single Seal of Removal. There's a little bit of, I need as many different types as possible and balance my instants and sorceries. That's why I went with an enchantment kind of removal and a sorcery removal over more instants. Pretty cool deck. I really like the look of it, and I thought it could do good damage. Sideboard, playing against, colorless stuff, have some different counterspell for different situations, cheap creatures, 2-drops, blue spells. Go for the throat as a, removal spell that will just be fine over the course of any tournament and in an open field. Break the ice against colorless lands, Ursa Saga, Tron lands, Labyrinth, stuff like that. A couple of sweepers. One more denial for when spells, non-creature spells are the name of the game, and then a little bit of graveyard hate for some unexpected deck, right? So that's going to do it for the 2 deck techs. I have 2 matches lined up against Nathan, one with the Zoo deck and one with the Mir deck. So yeah, enjoy. All right, here we are, match 1 versus Nathan. I'm on the play with Tribal Zoo, and actually can't remember if Nathan was on either of the energy decks here. Jeskai or Mardu. Jeskai or Mardu, sorry. I will link his decks in the description or the pinned comment for this video. My hand is decent here. I have the color pair of Boros and Golgari, which lets me cast a 4/4 Kavu. It does not let me cast Sign of Draco, though. So, I mean, this hand is not crazy. It doesn't have a Leyline either. Here's Leyline Binding, which is a 2-mana deal with everything. I'll leave the card on top. Looks like Nathan goes Ocelot Pride turn 1. I go Kavu. And already here we have a cool dynamic of Nathan's 4 Lightning Bolts and 4 Galvanic Discharges makes it so that this Ocelot Pride can actually attack here. Either because Nathan has the removal or, is bluffing to have the removal. I can't afford to block here, so take the damage. My Kavu being a 4/4 is useful for racing. Worth noting is Nathan is starting the token barrage already, which is, yeah, not ideal. Now we learned that the version is Jeskai. Nathan has a Mockingbird in that deck. Here's another Ocelot Pride. So now all of a sudden, Nathan is triggering 2 Ocelot Prides, and Nathan is holding up the removal spell, so I need my 5th land in order to, or my 5th land type rather, in order to even attack with my Kavu. So what I do here is I deploy another Kavu. Can't attack. It's quite the bad situation. Here's Static Prison, which, isn't that great, but it's fine, obviously. Nathan is stuck on 2 lands here, but it's fine as long as he's keeping up the pressure. Can attack with 2 cats once again. I'm also not doing anything super reasonable. Oh, okay, so here's the Galvanic Discharge. The reason why Nathan is firing this off is so that he can get in with the whole team here. Getting in for 4, getting 2 more tokens, getting dangerously close to the City's Blessing. I draw Wild Nacatl, and I pass the turn here holding up Leyline Binding. I'm kind of hoping to get into a spot where Nathan taps out, and then on combat I can kill the Static Prison to get back a 4/4, but with this Goblin Bombardment, I think that's just all she wrote here. Nathan is in an incredible spot here. So what I believe I do here is I Leyline Binding the Static Prison, and then I go for blocks on the 2 cats that lets Nathan resolve first strike damage and then finish off the Nacatl, which is a good play in my opinion. Nathan gets 2 more tokens here thanks to the City's Blessing. I draw Leyline and I concede the game here because all I can do is like Tribal Flames one thing, then I get attacked by 5 cats. My opponent has Goblin Bombardment in play, so pretty, I don't know, standard, uneventful. Nathan really playing well with the first strikers, with red damage removal spells, and Goblin Bombardment showing why having a bunch of small tokens can finish the game, especially against the deck with, Shock Lands and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's game 1. We're down a game against the champ. Let's see if we can come back. All right, what do we have here? We have a 4-lander with 3 spells, so I think this is a keep. Still no Leyline in the opener. Bad habit. I think if you have that more often than not, you'll be in great shape. So here, I don't know, kind of interesting spot. So I'm thinking I want my Nacatl as a 3/3 attacker on turn 2, but I also might want to save some damage. And I do that by fetching Stomping Ground. I need a green source. Then next turn, I have the option to play taps Sacred Foundry, play Lightning Bolt off of my Stomping Grounds, having a big Wild Nacatl, and then crashing in, saving a little bit of life here, where that could be complicated if I go for another land sequence, but very, very tiny situation here. My hand is obviously quite strong, especially I have this Arid Mesa. It's going to get me either a Surveil land later or a Xander's Lounge, depending on my sense of urgency. But Wild Nacatl goes down. I natural draw the Surveil land, so I deploy it. I believe I see a Cyanoverse on top of my deck, and I keep it. Here's Amped Raptor. Finds Flage, which, with the one energy left over, is unfortunately something that Nathan can cast. So, in this spot, I wish Nathan would hit another, Galvanic Discharge or the Flame Slashes I saw out of his sideboard, but no such luck. The Flage is now in rotation, which can definitely be scary later. I believe I'm Lightning Bolting this Raptor end of turn because I plan on tapping out next turn by fetching the Xander's Lounge and playing 2-mana Scion. So the reason why I do that is if I let this stay in play, my opponent can then use the bluff of the red removal spells, or actually just having red removal and keep attacking. And I want to protect my life total here. So I Lightning Bolt not a premier threat ahead of schedule, but that's also one of the advantages of Nathan's deck is it doesn't run, as many key creatures. It's mainly like a Mosaic or a Puzzle, right? So the cards aren't that individually strong, but they're very good together. Nathan deploys 2 Guides of Souls, one with flying already, thanks to it being a Mockingbird, and I draw a Leyline. Okay, so now the race is kind of on here. Now I have a First Strike, Hexproof, Lifelink, Vigilance, and Trample Scion here. So I start going to town. Here's Amped Raptor, creating a lot of energy here into another Raptor. So let's see. I can't remember what Nathan hit off of it. Huh. Yeah, I wonder what he hit off the second one. Here comes an attack that is reasonable because Nathan has 7 energy, can trigger the guide twice. So this is a 5/6 attacker. I draw another Scion, which is an awesome draw. So attacking here, Nathan takes the damage. I gain some life. I believe I play out the second Scion, and I can't remember if I develop my tap lane. I think I do, but I'm not sure. I do. Holding up Leyline Binding here. Ideally, I want my opponent to spend energy growing some creatures and then kind of punishing with Leyline Binding. Let's see if that happens. Here's another Mockingbird, so Nathan is now up to 3 Guides of Souls. Definitely not bad. That's going to generate a ton of energy. Let's see if Nathan has any attacks here. I actually don't think so, but maybe. Let's see. Oh, I guess Nathan can attack with... maybe even 2 Amped Raptors. Let's see if Nathan bluffs the red removal once more. Oh, I guess that doesn't work here, so maybe I'm only attacking with 1. I don't know. Tough game. Let's just see what he does. Okay, no attack here. So I draw another Leyline Binding, which is an amazing draw. I attack first. This is basically because of Trample, so it's a free roll. Let's say Nathan just blocks with Guide. I can kill it after blocks. It's not a big deal. Here I'm flexing, tapping the Overgrown Tomb to cast Leyline Binding. Guide of Souls is gone. Nathan takes 8. I gain 8. So looks pretty good here. But Nathan is not done yet. Here's Flage. Flage will generate 2 energy. That puts Nathan at 6 energy. I'll get shut down to 19. And now there's a cool situation where Nathan is trying to, flip the script here a little bit. Because now Nathan has 6 energy. That means attacking with double Amped Raptor, which already has First Strike. And Nathan can now grow both of them into 4/3 First Strikers. So this is not only great for the damage race, it's also an investment into the future, which makes Amped Raptor actually a reliable blocker all of a sudden. 4/3 Flying First Strike, that'll do it against my Scions, right? So great play by Nathan. Let's see. I think this is the turn where he turns the Raptor sideways. Not an easy play to find, so a little bit of thinking. I will take 8 damage here. I believe there's a case that I should have killed one of them with Leyline Binding here to save 4 damage, because it looks like I'm gonna do that regardless. I think my state of mind here is I might draw some bolts that makes Leyline Binding a premier removal for something else, because Lightning Bolt actually kills the Raptors. That might be the case, but I can't quite remember my logic, but that would be a reason. Also worth noting is Nathan is now just one fetch land away from, well, I guess not. Nathan extended all of his energy, so actually the Aether Hub is not a duel right now. Okay, I mean, Blade is not necessarily coming right now, but it is something I have to worry about closing out the game here. Take the damage here. I believe I'm thinking about whether I should do it end of turn or not. I don't, because I don't think mana is an issue here. I draw Pyroclasm, so I can clear the Guide of Souls here. Pretty good draw. Get in for 8, buy back 8 life. And now I believe Nathan is on the back foot once more, where the Amped Raptors are, meant to play defense. Here's Goblin Bombardment, which is not nothing. It's not that scary right now, though. Nathan with one card in hand, one land off from casting Flage from the yard. I draw a brick, which is fine. I've had some good draws in a row. I get rid of a raptor. I get pinged for 1. I'm now willing to double attack and get Nathan down to 1 life, thanks to Trample. And now Nathan needs a good draw. Not even a land is a good enough draw, because Flage would put him to 4, and then I can fly in for lethal. So Nathan needs hard removal for a bunch of things here. Like, he needs to clear the leyline first because of hexproof, and yeah, that was just too complicated. So 1-1. Let's see who takes down the third and final game. Okay, game 3 here. This tournament structure is so that so first of all, this was a winner's pod, which means we all 4 made it out of our previous pod. So today we're playing for top 8 for the top 2, and the bottom 2 gets to, have another stab at it in what you can call a lower bracket, I guess. So you need to win 2 matches on the evening, and yeah, this is the first one. So both me and Nathan are looking to get off to a great start. This hand is pretty easy keep. I have some creatures, I have perfect mana, and I have some one-sided sweepers, so pretty good hand. But we also play with open deck lists, so Nathan knows very well that Pyroclasm is a magic card. My general rule of thumb here with fetching is I want the color pair of Temple Garden plus Blood Crypt, and then my third land is oftentimes the Xander's Lounge, so this is no exception. Here's second Guide of Souls. So here, there's a little bit of eye staring contest where Nathan probably has Galvanic Discharge or Bolt, but Nathan wants me to at least, fetch a potentially awkward land in order to facilitate the 3 damage from the coddle and then kill it, right? You can see in my deck list I have no punishments for such a play. No double block. Nathan flirting with a terrible double block there. I would have loved to see that. Here's a Blood Crypt, makes Nakal into a 3/3, and here's the Lightning Bolt. So worth noting is, if this is Galvanic Discharge in Nathan's hand, he will respond to me fetching, but so he could save an energy in the bank. So just a little bit of extra point here. So now I think it's quite obvious that from my point of view, I spent this turn sweeping Nathan's 2 Guide of Souls and developing what is most like... Oh, I already played my land, never mind. So let's see what Nathan has here. It looks like Flage. Yeah, that card is awesome. So Flage puts me to 11. So here, this is actually a cool play. So should I play this Brawler out? I mean, the autoplay would be yes, but that's terrible in the face of Flage. So what I do here is I let my opponent Flage, then I take my hits here, kill the Flage with Leyline Binding. Oh, I actually, okay, I remember this. I actually go for surveilling here over the Xander's Lounge, because I can play the Binding out now for 2 mana. That I don't mind that. I get a little bit of selection, and I look towards more threats because I don't believe this Brawler is going to live. So bit of a judgment call here, but I think I like it. I draw another Brawler, which is a good draw. Play Brawler, hold up white for something like Static Prison. Here's a Ajani. I believe I should just kill the Ajani. I don't. Oh, I have Pyroclasm. Right. So I clear those boys with Pyroclasm. Then I attack for 4. And I draw a land for the turn, so now I can go to 4 life in order to deploy another brawler, and I think I'm supposed to do that. The race here can be somewhat complicated, but I think this is correct. The other plan would be to pass the turn, fetch a Triome, and then have bigger brawlers later, but very tough play to make. I deploy my second creature. I don't die to a bolt. I don't die to a Plage. Static Prison. I get full. Oh, okay. I lose a brawler here. So my Nathan is down to 0 cards. My spot is not terrible here. Especially not now, because what I do now is I tear the prison. That means I get back the binding. I can get rid of a Johnny. I can attack for 4, and I can play the brawler, holding up lightning bolts. So this is quite strong. Opponent draws Guide of Souls with 3 energy, and this is where the key part of the game. So if I was a modern expert, I would be incredibly happy about this state of the game. So let's see. Here's an attack, and with this trigger on the stack, I realize, oh, bad things can happen here. And in my mind, this cat token was a 1/2, just like Ajani itself. So look what I do here. A lightning bolt in response. Nathan can now say, oh, you fizzled the ability. I'll save those energy. Thank you very much. At the time, I didn't put too much thought into it. I then attack for 8, deploy another brawler. Pretty clearly winning this game, except for one fact. Opponent draws Goblin Bombardment, can now attack with a 3/4 flyer because I didn't eat the energy the previous turn, then finish the job with Goblin Bombardment. So Nathan takes down the match here, which is how ideally I want Magic to be a game where the best player wins. So this is very satisfying in that regard, and it's just, for me, it's very motivating and humbling, and a lot of positive things where I feel like a lot of player would be discouraged or blame themselves or whatever. But this is cool, right? I had the champ on the ropes, so if I put more work into like, I could have tested for the PC. I could have play tested for this one. I could have studied Nathan's deck list before. Then I would be in great shape, right? And then I would beat him. But that's what Magic is supposed to be about. It's about minimizing mistakes. And I made a costly one here, and Nathan made me pay. Let's say he draws a random land or a random creature here. I win despite my mistake. And then maybe the learning wouldn't be, as apparent. So I see this as a gift. I had the champ at the ropes and on the ropes, and I learned a lot. So I'm results-wise not a good start to the evening, but in the grand scheme of things, great start to the evening. I'm very excited. I would end up playing against Alexander Hayne in the next match. That match was pretty uneventful. I basically just ran him over. I had good draws. Hayne had like below average draws, and I just destroyed him with my blue-black deck. He played a cool Izzet Artifacts deck. So that meant after Caleb Durrett dispatched of Nathan in the you can call it pod finals, that meant that I was playing against Nathan for all the marbles. So let's see how that went in the next match. Thanks for watching so far. All right, final match. We play for all the marbles. Winner advances to the top 8. Loser goes to the second chance bracket. And don't mind I'm trying to chat Nathan up here. I find it funny that I call myself the Danish assassin after playing the assassin card in my zoo deck, but whatever. Let's get to the game here. So this hand has 2 free draws off the top, and if there's a land in any of these, this hand is playable. But if not, I lose on the spot, so it's not worth it. Let's say this hand was perfect, then maybe I would give it a go. I'm mulligan to this hand, and this is obviously way better. I believe I get rid of... I can't even remember. Maybe Stubborn Denial? Darn, I missed what I bottomed there. Let me know if it made sense. So, what can I do here? I think I go turn 1 Stalker, and then I hang on to the Street Wraith because the Stalker's already growing this turn. My opponent cannot play Bowmasters just yet, and this could trigger the ascend next turn. So just a little bit of careful sequencing here. Here I go directly to combat. I want Nathan to use the removal spell now, before knowing what's up. I drew a fetch land, so I can still hang on to the Street Wraith. Here's Psychic Frog, which right now dodges the red removal spells. I like that. Let's see what Nathan's up to here. Okay, no end-step removal. So here, if I should cycle the Street Wraith or hang on to it is actually a judgment call, because Nathan is playing Orcish Bowmasters, so there's some situation where Nathan can catch me off guard, but I think when I'm ahead on the board, I will most likely have the chance to act second and just cycle it later, so I'm trying to get as much value out of Stalker as possible. Oh, here's Tax Collector. So Nathan played 3 copies of Tax Collector, which sometimes, taxes the opponents and sometimes arrests the opponent, so pretty cool flavor on that card. Nathan decides that bringing the frog out of business for at least a turn cycle is good. I draw Thoughtseize here, so I think this is a good time to Thoughtseize. And then with the info of my opponent's hand, I know if I'm supposed to play out second Stalker or I'm supposed to hold up Stubborn Denial. Let's have a look at that hand again. I take a Johnny because I have Static Prison covered with Stubborn Denial. I think I hope I cycle Street Wraith here because that makes the Stalker a 4/4. And when that card's a 4/4, Stubborn Denial is a hard counter. So let's see. Attacking for 3 menace. Cycling Street Wraith into another Thoughtseize. Should I not just Thoughtseize the prison? The thing is, if I Thoughtseize the prison, my Stubborn Denial is not very good. I know right now this is trading for a card. I might pressure my own life total, in a sense that I don't have to, and I have less cards to pitch to Psychic Frog, so I believe the right play is to pass the turn here. Hanging on to the Mockingbird. Stalker grows to a 4/4, so that's pretty good. Nathan has a 2/2 and has the ability to deploy Orcish Bowmasters if he wants to. Looks like the draw of the Ocelot Pride makes it so that Nathan doesn't want to trade off. Like, with the way I've been playing, I'm basically saying I have the Stubborn Denial, so this prison is bad. It looks like Nathan is looking to go double creature instead. And I then draw another land. So let's see. Yeah, I give the Psychic Frog flying here. I basically want to move on with stuff. And I send both creatures to the red zone, I believe. The point is, I'm hoping that I'm forcing Nathan into some multi-block, and maybe he respects Fatal Push too much, but let's see. Shoots the Stalker, and makes a double block, so that is a trade I will take. I'm drawing 1 card with Frog. Nathan gets another Orc. And I'm down to 9. Street Wraith was a very bad draw here. So here I fetch a basic Swamp, and I think I go Mockingbird Bowmaster here, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, Mockingbird on the Bowmasters here is interesting. It unlocks my Psychic Frog for future draws. Potentially makes Street Wraith an actual cycle spell. But it's tough. It's not an easy one. So here I Thoughtseize. I wonder why I Thoughtseize. Oh, I Thoughtseize. Right. Okay. So it's always good when I like my play. These replays can offer some bad surprises sometimes. I Thoughtseize here because now Stubborn Denial is not on anymore because I don't have a 4-power creature. Get rid of the Static Prison. Go to 6 life. Nathan drew Guide of Souls. Let's see what I do here. I draw another Frog, which is quite strong. So making Frog a flyer. Trying to get in for 2 damage here. Maybe I should have discarded the Stubborn Denial as well. That wouldn't have been bad. I actually think I like that. Draw Psychic Frog, deploy another Psychic Frog, hold a couple of cards in hand for the Lightning Bolt and Discharge situation. I'm at 6 life here. Yeah, that's the bad news. 6 is a very bad life total when the opponent can go Flage. So now I believe I spent a lot of time checking my deck list. And my only out here is finding the Sink into Super Land, which is kind of a counterspell, time walk counterspell for the Flage next turn. So I believe my turn is basically about digging 2 cards with frogs and trying to get there. Make that one a flyer, stay back, because I also need to block. I discard a Stubborn Denial. Discard 2 Stubborn Denials. I don't find the land, so that now Nathan can cast the land spell, rather. So now Nathan can kind of escape the Flage and finish me off here. So very great game. There's a chance I could have put on more pressure. There's a chance I could have saved a bit more life. In the end, the Flage really got me, and that was a great game. Yeah, these games really delivered. Let's see if we can come back here. All right, we're down a game against the champ. We're looking at this hand, which is interesting. So what I can go is fetch Watergrave, play Stalker, grow it. That's kind of the easy one. Then turn 2 gets a bit awkward because this is a black source, so I can't go, Mockingbird, copy a Stalker, still hold up Stern Scolding. So there's a little bit of tension with this hand. Let's see if we can get out of it. Step 1 is playing the Stalker. I think that's pretty reasonable. Here's Thoughtseize. So Nathan smells blood here and takes my land. So I hit a Surveillant here, which is a very good draw. Obviously, I need a land to stay competitive in this game, but it's also a draw that lets me potentially put a permanent card into my yard this turn. I'm lucky to hit a bubble, so I can put that to the yard, and with that information, I can play another Stalker, Flying Stalker this time, attacking and growing both of them. So I'm kind of the Sue plan here after Nathan's Thoughtseizing turn 1. Nathan deploys a couple of creatures, and I draw Fatal Push, which is a very, very nice draw. So now I'm attacking with both. Nathan takes the damage down to 8. And, good question what I do here. I'm actually excited to see. Okay, it looks like I'm deploying Psychic Frog, and now I'm actually doing a cool trick. I'm discarding the Mockingbird to the Psychic Frog on my main phase here in order to trigger both Stalkers. Remember, if a permanent goes to the yard from anywhere, these guys will grow. So pretty cool here between surveilling a permanent card and discarding to Frog. And of course the obvious fetches and the obvious Street Wraith. Let's see, Static Prison on the Frog. I think we take that at this point. And then the opponent, because they have information about Stern Scolding, deploys Orcish Bowmasters here, which is just a solid play. A little bit of life gain here for Nathan, unfortunately. Guide of Souls will do that sometimes. So now it could turn into some kind of race here. Also, Nathan knows that Toxic Deluge is not coming. I didn't have it in my hand for Thoughtseize. I don't even have enough lands to cast it, so the risk of something like that is kind of low. Nathan uses some energy to power up the Guide of Souls. And I draw Nethergoyf, which is quite cool, because now I can even double spell once more, right? So now I can punish a double block with my Fatal Push and deploy another creature. So Nathan with the triple block. I push the Amped Raptor, get in for 3, deploy Nethergoyf, and yeah, this is a lot of pressure. Nathan with the Surveil here, and I'm thinking Nathan needs something like Flage, kill the Flying Stalker, Chum Block to stay alive. It's going to be tough here. Here comes Bowmasters, which is a good one when it comes to blocking, especially the Goyf. The other ones have Menace. I actually, if I remember correctly, Nathan forgets about that momentarily. Oh, sorry, I clicked too fast. Let's see. So I end up casting Inquisition here, seeing nothing. Is that true? Yeah, I think I end up seeing Arid Mesa here. So I put Sorcery in my yard, makes Nethergoyf into a 5/6. Not the most relevant right now. Oh, illegal blocking. The champ tried to do an illegal block here. The Flying and Menace is not a combination you see often, so I forgive Nathan. Chump block and double blocking over here. I get rid of the Guide, which will grow my Stalker on end step. So Nathan goes to 5. Stalker grows to a 4/4. I'm holding up Stern Scolding. Nathan with the Sacrifice. Galvanic Discharge. That's a good one because that kills the Stalker, and Nathan has a chump block lined up for the Nethergoyf. So there's a chance here. I draw Thoughtseize, which is a terrible play. Here I highly consider casting the Thoughtseize. I even think I make some kind of joke. I go open my WordPad and I basically write Plage in hand and I pull it on screen because that would really punish me. Whereas if Nathan does actually have the Plage, I'm putting it in the yard. I'm kind of doing a favor. So and I end up not casting the Thoughtseize here. I'm actually not sure about that decision. Here's Elegant Parlor. And it looks like Nathan did not get there. Not drawing anything, dying to the Nethergoyf. So I'm forcing game 3 here. And yeah, we play for all the marbles in game 3. Let's see if that game can hold up to the standard of the other ones. Okay, it all comes down to this. Game 3 on the draw versus Nathan Steuer. I'm playing Demir, Zoo, or whatever you want to call it. And then Nathan is on the Mardu Energy deck. So let's see. Turn 1 Spellbomb. Spellbomb is a weird card against my deck. Could be good. I play turn 1 Stalker, and I crack the bauble right away because of Bowmasters, me being on the draw and all. And I need to find my second land here. I do, which is good, because then that means we have a game of Magic. Here's Galvanic Discharge, even saving an energy in the bank. Always annoying, I imagine. Oh, okay. Easy now, buddy. So I thought sees Nathan here. I get rid of a Raptor. So that card is gone. That card is gone. Nathan's hand is Arena, Mesa, and Bowmasters. And I have all of these great cards. So let's see. I think what I do here is I go Stalker. I'm starting to think about... It's funny. I played all night, and I'm a 4 Death Shadow deck, but I didn't really draw the cards. So that's why I'm just, fetching basics. I didn't really trust my deck to come up with Death Shadows at this point, which is kind of funny. Here's a Johnny. Very strong draw from Nathan. So Nathan's hand is Arid Mesa and Orcish Bowmasters at this point. What can your boy do here? Worth noting is I'm behind on life. So here's Fatal Push on a Johnny. Attacking for Menace. And then I'm actually interested to see. I think I deploy... No, this is the cool one. This is the cool one. I forgot about this. So now I have 2 choices, right? I can develop a 2-drop or I can develop 2 1-drops. The advantage of developing the 2-drop... No, let's do the other one. The advantage of deploying 2 1-drops is kind of obvious. Throwing both Stalkers, getting more game pieces into play. But the downside is that Nathan has Nile Spellbomb. So let's say I go Nethergoyf, Stalker, right? Pass. Grow the Stalkers. That's good. Then Nathan go End Step, Nile Spellbomb, my great graveyard. I don't have any cards in the yard. This is an 0-1, and that makes Orcish Bowmasters a card removal and then some for the Nethergoyf. So that dynamic I wasn't too interested in, so that's why I end up going Psychic Frog here. There's also the small thing that I can fetch a basic and stay at 13 here. Which, if I draw Death Shadow, I look silly. If I don't, it's a good play. The Stalker goes to a 3-3, and Nathan now needs some stuff, so the bomb is cracked end of turn here, which does make it easier for me to, make this Nethergoyf an actual threat in the future. Amped Raptor into Fatal Push is more or less the ideal situation. Nathan is not willing to respect Spell Snare nor Stern Scolding here, so I believe he passes. Yep. I draw Mockingbird, and now I have to think about what to do. So what I end up deciding here is something that might not be a good play. It's a very high variance play. I end up owning the Amped Raptor. The reason for that is, at this stage of the game, I want to hit, some good stuff. These Stalker dies to Bowmaster. Nethergoyf is not that big. And I can double spell the Nethergoyf, so that's not really an argument. So basically now I'm trying to hit something like Fatal Push, something like Psychic Frog. What else am I trying to hit? The problem is I'm at 13, so I can't hit Death Shadow. So the play is really not ideal. Let me put it that way. Too much fail rate. Thoughtseize is probably also a bad hit. Inquisition, probably also a bad hit. Actually, I know it's a bad hit because my opponent's hand is Arid Mesa Bowmasters. I clone the Raptor and I get punished. I hit the 3-drop land spell, the Steuer, so really not ideal. And now I can't even attack because of... Oh, yeah, because of First Strike. My opponent double blocks First Strike damage, then pings it off with Bowmasters, so lots of stuff here. Here comes Bowmasters and kills my Raptor, which is something I didn't put enough thought into. Nathan finds the Nightmare and now has, you know, Amped Raptor, a Johnny flips going. And with the Arid Mesa in hand, that's, I believe that's when I throw in the towel. This is just too much. Nightmaring twice a turn. Yep, this is game over. GG, sweet games again, bro. So I end up losing this game. I feel like I was in it, and we were definitely playing Magic. Nathan managed to draw Amp Raptor, which hit Fatal Push. I tried to copy the Amp Raptor, and I hit a brick. Nathan drew the Nightmare after I played an attrition game and killed a bunch of Nathan's stuff. You know, that's just what happens in close contested games. I really like both of my decks, especially this one. I think actually spamming all the 1-drops and having, you know, Psychic Frog as the best card in the deck, probably. And then figuring out if the metagame can allow for some Death Shadow shenanigans or not. I think that's going to be pretty huge when it comes to this deck. I think Mockingbird is amazing between copying your own 1-drops, your own Psychic Frog, and your opponent's stuff sometimes. So, very close call. That means I will be playing one more week on MTGO Masters. I think it's going to be in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. And from there, I'm playing for elimination. So, I get the most out of it. It's boring to just 2-way your pod and be ready for top 8. I actually get 3 weeks of playing in. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited for that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, I played against Nathan Steuer twice in a competitive / entertainment setting. I played interesting decks. He played interesting decks. I think that's definitely worth showing. And I actually think there were a bunch of small and interesting decisions. Some mistakes were made. Some judgment calls went my way. Some judgment calls didn't go my way. And that's, in general, I think that's like the classic Magic the Gathering experience. Like, you just need to get, you know, try and aim for getting 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 correct when it comes to judgment calls. And other than that, just play, you know, solid Magic, and you'll go good places when it comes to results. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thanks again so much for watching, and I hope to see you back soon on the channel. Bye, guys.